Hi, this is Mia. I'm just making a check-in video. I have not been making a lot of videos because I had been injured in a car wreck about a year or so ago, and I have been still dealing with excruciating pain, and I've been using my credit card in order to pay for the chiropractor, which after they stopped paying, I just canceled all of my appointments. I never went to physical therapy. I never went to the specialist and all of the other imaging and stuff that I was supposed to go to. I didn't do it because I couldn't pay out of pocket, and I thought that someone could help me send the chiropractor's notes to insurance to say that I'm still seeking care due to auto accident injuries, and I have yet to find out how to do that. And unfortunately, I guess the chiropractor she does her own paperwork, and unfortunately, she does a good job at making it so that I can walk. But I'm not even doing the amount of appointments I should be doing. So right now, I'm just thinking of how I can heal and not trying. And I lost 2 jobs after the car accident. Some of which reasoning was because of the injuries in the car accident and the inability to do either my work or drive to the office that I had to get to. And unfortunately, that also made it so even though insurance stopped paying, I was not able to pay out of pocket because I have not been able to get a job. All the jobs that I wanted to apply for all required heavy lifting, and they said, do not apply for this job, you cannot fulfill this job. Same thing at the place I worked, the second place that I got laid off. So I felt like, ooh, this system is messed up. But of course, you want somebody who can do the full job and drive to work and not be sick and not have to be like, I have a doctor's appointment, I have a doctor's note, no. I mean, it's against the law to discriminate. I mean, if you have a small office, someone's in a wheelchair, and their doctor says we need it to be ADA law, and the wheelchair needs to be able to fit in their desk cubicle, then you're going to fix it. Because it's obvious, it's a wheelchair. But if you're having injuries from auto accident, they're not necessarily seeing it inside of my skin, inside of my head. So, unfortunately, I just am hoping for the best so that I can heal. I was not able to find a job, and I was not able to get the help from unemployment like I expected was automatic, so I ended up, my only avenue was to go ahead for my self-employment, and I haven't made a penny, and I'm having a really hard time. After the accident happened, I felt like I got really slow at getting stuff done, just hard to walk, harder, with these headaches. Just dealing with that has caused just me to think a lot of people are dealing with this. And I was an empathetic person before, but now I have another layer of empathy for people dealing with this kind of excruciating pain on a daily basis and a nightly basis. Also, disrupting my sleep is not my friend. I do much better when I can sleep through the night, and I know a lot of people would say that. I know people that they wake up, sleep, stay up all night, go to bed at 4, that's how they live. They're able to take naps, they're able to, I don't know how they do it, drink coffee, whatever, or they don't have to be places early in the morning or drive, which seems to be unsafe when you don't sleep. But yeah, I'm not that person. And I don't really want to. I want to be able to do my healthy habits. So I've just been praying about being guided to make the right phone calls and be guided to the right healers and see, some people I know live in the country that are giving very low discount because of my financial situation, but I cannot handle the drive out there, and I kind of had wished my daughter could drive because I'm like, I'll just be like in the back seat laying on pillows, with the seatbelt on, of course. I don't know if that's safe when you have a teenager, but I'm just like, I wish I had somebody to drive me. And I guess if you use your insurance sometimes with the Medicaid, you can get rides, but it's like injury from auto accident, so that becomes a big mess, and most people I know do not take that kind of insurance. It's not. So it'd be convenient to get a ride, but this is much bureaucracy. So I just wanted to check in because I haven't been loading videos. I've been really slow. I've been job searching. I've been self-employment and finishing out my, and I got a lot of paperwork to do. So I had something last week due, and I couldn't even get up to go to my computer. And luckily, one of my kids was home and could type it while I recited it. Like, I wasn't even able to. Sometimes you can just get somebody computer so you could type, but I was just in so much pain I couldn't move. And eventually, later that day, I did bring it over to where I was laying, but I had to. It took hours, and I turned a thing. It was due last week. I didn't even turn it in until after 5, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 at night, whatever. It just was. I couldn't really move my back, everything, all the stuff since the car accident. Like, why is this happening? And I kept setting alarms, like, you have to do this. There's no extension, you have to do this. And I actually called them and said, I'm having health issues, a couple of days prior to that, I was already having it, and it just got worse. They didn't respond to the phone call, so I asked, I didn't hear back, so done before night is what. So I kept setting alarms because I couldn't move, and I was like trying to make myself. And like I said, I almost got a walker and a cane a couple weeks ago, but I didn't have money. That's how bad it's been. There's been times I can't get out to use the bathroom, and I'm the type of person that likes to go to the restroom regularly, and so it's just breaking into my normal health. So I wanted to check in because I've been really slow. I wanted to be working, not have lost my jobs, be able to afford a computer that works, and to be able to afford a computer I can use for work, one for my job. And I had thought when I was still working that I could save up some money for a computer and maybe start doing editing so I don't have these really long videos. But yeah, right now I'm taking one day at a time. So I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to have an opportunity to be with my kids. There's still some hope out there in the future that I can actually do my job, which is to help people and to not let this excruciating pains on daily stop work. And I feel like so far it's been rough, and so I wanted to have the experience to get through this rough patch, and hopefully, people get disabled, and unfortunately that's what happens. Some people die, some people just heal really fast, and everybody's story is different. So I'm really hoping to be better and to be able to just get my health back, and when I get the proper health care, at least it helps some. It's not complete healing, but the path that they were putting me on was leaning towards more complete healing, like I said, physical therapy and all that, and now it's not being paid for, so it's just like thinking about, it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a Lamborghini, like how? I don't know, credit plan, I don't know, like, no, it's like, no, don't even think about it, don't waste your time. But I was like, well, I really want this, so I told myself, yeah, go ahead and at least call the people, see what they've got, and unfortunately just, like, really off kind of just credit card desperation, and getting tens of thousands of medical bills, because then the credit is going to be screwed up. Yeah, it's a mess. I don't even want to talk about it. I just wanted to share that I'm still here, I'm still dealing with this lingering issue, and I'm being hopeful. It's helping me to talk it out loud, just to say that I'm hopeful that things will get better, and I'm trying to keep my attitude positive in hopes that in itself will be healing, because You know, I've seen people on their deathbeds and still have a sense of humor and humility and grace, and it's not easy. Like I've seen people in their deathbed, and it's like it happens. No one is immortal, so it's like I'm just want to say that I'm grateful to be here, and I want to share. I don't want to be a burden by having a sad story, and I just feel like when I make videos, I think about when I watch videos, and sometimes there's it's not like a weight is lifted off your shoulders, but it's kind of like a sense of community, despite the fact that I'm not like going to a coffee shop hanging out with you or these people I watch. But there's dealing with the same or different. Take a breath. You're not alone. You may not have people coming over helping you vacuum, and you're just gonna let the floor be messy. Then fine, you know, you're not gonna hurt yourself doing that. Or if you're stuck in bed and you can't turn this paper in, you're just gonna have to say sorry. You know, and I have to be like that because I want to always get stuff done. But yeah, it's just people share their humorous about something. You know, like I'm going through this thing. It's kind of like, what's wrong with me? And they're like, oh my gosh. But then you're like, hey, I have a similar story. And so it's kind of like just having the hope and seeing them move past something or go through something and not, like, I mean, I think some people, they might sit in there on the couch and just not care. Like, it's not that they don't care, it's just that they lose hope, and if they're like me and don't have friends or family around, it can be very, very difficult to deal with trying to without courage. So I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I felt like if I share a little bit, maybe it will help somebody else to be like, keep trudging through this, and you know, we can write messages and try to support one another or give tips and ideas, and just like I said, for me, I'm trying to, even it's like clinging onto a string, to say I'm grateful to be alive, to have opportunity, to hope that there's some sort of healing out there and some sort of employment that will come together as far as actually earning and being able to get my brain back and get rid of these stupid headaches and all this junk. So yeah, so I'm going to let you know how it goes. And now to go into the file box and get out the names that the chiropractor gave me when insurance was still paying, and to just give them a call and just tell them what's the situation. Giving them a call is not going to cost me thousands of dollars. If I step in and they become my doctor, then that's a different story, but I haven't done that yet because the same reason I didn't take an ambulance. I was going to have the person that was driving the car I was in drive, but then we realized the car is undrivable and was totaled. Because the next exit was the hospital right there. So unfortunately, I got stuck. And there's no way I was going to walk. And I just was so scared. I wanted an ambulance. I was so scared they were going to send me a bill in the mail. That person, I mean, bills all the time, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That was my biggest fear, and I wish almost that I went so that I didn't, like, I don't know. So I mean, I went to the doctor later, but we thought we could just go straight to ER, and didn't realize the car was completely totaled because it was hit behind, so you don't see front, like front and the side. It's gotta be okay, but you don't realize it. You don't realize it until the cops come and tell you ain't driving nowhere, buddy. Call a tow truck now, and you're like, shoot, that must be my plan. And then I also had the fear when I was a kid being in the emergency room for hours sick, people have their arms falling off and they're in there for hours, or they don't like your insurance. And I just said, I need to go to my doctor right away and not wait, because this children needs to be cared for. And I could have done things differently. I think if I had more support network, I think I would have took the ambulance. But I was scared of the money that they would charge, like everyone else. And eventually I got paid. But sometimes when you're in that situation, that becomes your biggest concern. It just compounds. It doesn't become your biggest concern. Your biggest concern is your health, but it compounds the issue and it influences your decisions, especially when you've been treated poorly due to poor health insurance in the past and told to your face that your insurance is not going to cover this. So that is an issue. I wish that I could go into a meeting and speak and have it changed so that people can be treated fairly. You pay in your insurance, this and that, and the other, but that's another story. So God bless, and I will upload this one, and everything else is not being edited or anything. Try that my stuff that I gotta do, and I'm gonna make those phone calls, and it actually makes my heart beat a lot, because I'm like, just don't want to hear that. I'm sorry, ma'am, we can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh. I've had practitioners call me and say, oh, they're not going to pay it. We cancel all your appointments. I'm like, I want to be healed. I want someone to help my body heal. And you're just like, access denied. And it's sickening. It's sickening. It's stressful, sickening. And for sure, speaking of and lights, I got to turn this light off. It is not really helping the situation. So all of this is new since the accident. Never had these issues before the accident. I was physically fit. I was working out, exercising on a regular, I want to say daily basis. There was a lot of medical school. I was able to drive all around the county, different counties before the accident, and now it's just like, it's excruciating, and I'm just, like I said, grateful to be here with my kids another day, because tomorrow is not guaranteed.